Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of my trading journal. Today is Sunday evening, is 12:04 a.m., and we're just gonna do the market analysis. We're just gonna get them ready for this week. Sorry, this is just my microphone. My kid is sleeping, so I don't want to wake him up. So I'm gonna speak closer to the mic, but quieter. So I have got obviously the same pairs from last week. I haven't really added any extra ones. The top 6 is the best, and then there's still a couple of very good setups. I'm not going to waste any time talking about what happened last week, as it's already Monday morning here. We're just going to go straight to the analysis and see what we actually have got lined up for us. First one, and the most favorite, is GBP USD. We have reached this area of interest, so we are still looking for buys. This is weekly we're looking at now. Monthly is bullish with continuation. However, we haven't broken above the current monthly high. So we're waiting and see whether we have got confirmation tomorrow, whether we're gonna go above it at a weekly level and retest this area of interest, which is pretty respected at a weekly level. Daily level as well, we just reached this area, but we haven't gone through. It is possible that we're going to see a pullback. Based on the pullback, we will make our decisions whether to buy or sell. I'm trying not to put counter trend trades in, but if the opportunity is there, I'm not against it. 4 hourly is bullish with the pullback. And possibly a continuation. So we are looking for buys based on all of this, and what we're waiting to see is daily have a rejection at this area of interest. We want to see either a break up and have a continuation to the upside, or have a rejection and a retest of this to have a continuation to the downside. Now, the good thing is both GBP and USD, they're sitting at about the same level. They're pretty well balanced. I wouldn't think is anything wow gonna happen. Being like that, the news about both pairs are very similar, so that means, as you can see, the 4 hourly movement is very slow and pretty small, but it's slightly trending upwards, which is indicating that we might actually see a push to the upside still. All right, that's the first one. I'll just go back to daily. The second one is USD CAD. USD CAD is at a monthly level. We are bullish with the pullback. Now this pullback is pretty deep, and it can mean two things. One, we're going to see continuation. The thing that I think is going to happen is see continuation, as in we're going to have a retest of this area of interest. However, that was monthly, so monthly hasn't closed yet. Monthly has got another 7 days to go. It can do anything, but from a daily point of view, we have just broken below weekly high low, excuse me. And that means that we're going to have a bearish market. So that means we would be seeking sales. So we would be looking for this to have a break and a retest of this area of interest, just like so. And then we would be putting a trade through. Daily is already bearish, so I would expect a deeper push, bearish push, and then a retest of this area of interest in order to take this trade. And you can see I've marked this here. Unfortunately, we didn't take this trade, but that was the only signal that we have got from last week that we could have potentially taken and have a beautiful trade, but we didn't take it, so move on, doesn't matter. That's USD CAD. GBP JPY. GBP JPY is currently weekly is bullish. We have obviously created this ginormous push to the upside at a monthly level, but as we know, monthly hasn't closed, so we can't really expect it to do anything other than have a continuation. However, weekly is bearish. Weekly is bearish with this very deep pullback. I haven't really wrote down everything about GBP and JPY. I do think the British pound is a lot more powerful at the moment. It has a lot better news against the JPY, but we'll see what happens. I would say based on weekly, daily, and 4 hourly, we are in a better place for a counter trend trade. So I would say we would be looking for buys rather than sales. Now this one you see right here, this is a trade that I pretty much missed as such, but it didn't really have a clean entry signal. We didn't have an engulfing after this breaking and retesting of this area of interest, which is usual with counter trend trades, which is why they are more risky. But you know, it is what it is. So now we will be looking at potential buys at this level. And honestly speaking, this has had an engulfing signal, so that would potentially be a counter trend trade right there to take the 0.5. So tomorrow when the market opens, we will probably see this already go through. I'm gonna record it and post it if that's what's happening. Next on our list is AUD So AUD monthly is bullish. Let me just see. Okay, so monthly is bullish with a push to the upside. So we are reaching this area of interest, pretty important area of interest. Again, this is a decisive trade. It is possible that we're going to break above this area of interest and have a continuation, a push to the upside. We have had somewhat, I would call this consolidation since March 2026. So it's been sitting at this level. Now, Australian dollar is potentially a little bit more stronger at the moment than the JPY, but there is news coming up this week. So we'll just keep an eye. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen. I am expecting it to push to the upside rather than go to the downside, but you never know. News can affect these as well. But yeah, for now we're just going to be watching and waiting whether we're going to reject and go have a continuation to the downside, or break through and have a retest of this area of interest, which is pretty well respected at a weekly level. There's no point going to daily? No point. So at a daily level, as you can see, we already have an engulfing signal at this area of interest. So that would indicate to me that we would be going to the upside. Now, engulfing at a daily level is a pretty good signal. But obviously alone, it's not enough. Looking at the 4 hourly here, we had this big but subtle push to the upside. We broken above this area of interest and came down to retest it and reject the EMA with this engulfing signal right here after this long rejection. So that would have potentially been an entry signal for a counter trend trade, and that would have given us our 1 to 0.5. And I just want to add a little thing here. It may or may not matter. I am considering changing my counter, not my trading plan to not exiting at 0.5 all the time, and just if it's a counter trend, exit at that, and other than that, just enter and exit when the market is indicating that is finished the pull, the push or pull. All right, that can go now. Let's go back to monthly. Euro NZD. Now I just want to say the reason this is a little bit quicker is because this video, just before this, I actually spent the 2 hours and I've looked at all of them. I kind of understand what's happening, and there's no point wasting your time doing it. Yes, it is a journal, but I'm just going to basically read it to you and tell you what the market does and what I'm expecting it to do. This way is going to be a little bit more efficient for you. You're not going to stay here, watch me 3 hours doing the video and doing the analysis and the areas of interest, because by now you would know what an area of interest is. You would know how I recognize it, and you would know how I do my market structures. And I'm trying to move away into more, let's say, more professional trading. So you wouldn't need to. I'm expecting you at the six months mark to be able to not have to do everything, from scratch as such. So I'm gonna try and keep these videos a lot shorter. We're at 10 minutes now, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. We're almost halfway through, so this may actually be a short video. All right, so let's just take this one. Euro USD at a monthly level, we are bearish with a push to the upside. Now remember, this one has a head and shoulder that's formed here. I'm just gonna quickly highlight this so you can see it. You can see the head and shoulder. Let me get this beautiful structure marker. So we have the left head and right shoulder. You can see it there, right? With a retest of the neckline. Now this retest of the neckline, I'll just delete this because we don't want it. The retest of the neckline is actually at a monthly level, but it hasn't, the retest hasn't closed. So what that means is this market can go as far as high as this or here, doesn't really matter, as long as it's closing below this area of interest. It's considered to be retesting this neckline, right? And then we could see a push to the downside. Now, being what it is, it kind of creates a little bit of curiosity about what's going to do, right? Because weekly is already bullish and is bullish with continuation, but we are at this area of interest, which is a daily area of interest. Let me see if I have a weekly here as well. Okay, let's just run it across here. Let me just get this off, it's hard to see. All right, so we are okay. Okay, here. So guys, this area of interest here, and maybe just a little bit wider. 69 pips. Okay, let's get rid of some. Okay, right there. So this, I'm a little bit more happy with this. We can clearly see that every time the market has come to this area of interest, has completely rejected. It could not go through, and the only one time has gone through. It's gone through and didn't hold, came to retest and didn't hold and came right down. And I'm going to put the candles on now so we can actually see what's going on. So we can see the one time that actually had the push to the upside formed this ginormous wick and then consolidated, and then we had an engulfing signal for a reversal, and we had a push to the downside and then came back to retest. So it is looking more like we're going to do the same thing. But we, of course, not going to do anything until the market is going to show us. Because we just broke above this area of interest, I'm expecting that this is going to come down and retest. Let me take it to the daily level. I'm expecting that we're going to see tomorrow a push to back into the area of interest, to have a push to this area up here, and possibly even have a deeper push, and then come back to retest this and have a continuation, or potentially just have the reversal and go back down. But it will be interesting to see. It has been consolidating for quite some time, and if you're actually looking at this market from a little bit further, you can see how we had this that level, the balance level is, I would say, maybe this is wrong, but the balance level is the EMA anyway, and we are in balance. So it doesn't mean that it cannot have a bigger push to the upside or reverse and go back down. Now, from a PowerPoint of view, Euro USD, looking for buy decided market opening. Both Euro and USD are sitting at about the same level of, let's say, importance. So they're not necessarily one stronger than the other, which is why you can see it has been really ranging for all this time. It is possible that we're going to reach this area and then have another push down, and then reach this area, have a push up, and so on and on for a little while longer until we getting some decent news about what's actually happening. But this is a beautiful pair to trade because it's almost like predictable. Being such a balanced trade, you can see news affected this and it put the price in a good place, and it's been there for 6 months or more, since June 2005. 25. So that's actually more than just over a year. So the price has been good. Now, new news coming up, it is possible that we're going to see some effects of it. Next one is GBP. Sorry, Euro GBP. I need my glasses. It's so late. I can barely see. This one is Euro GBP. So Euro GBP at a monthly level, we are bearish. Obviously monthly hasn't quite closed yet, but you see monthly is forming this very, very, very tiny wick, which is telling me that we're hitting a resistance down here, so we cannot break below. We are at this daily area of interest, and weekly. Now we're dropping to weekly. We can see that we broke below this area of interest, so it didn't hold. We came back up, and we are now retesting for support and potentially having a push to the upside. Now we know that currently the euro is slightly more powerful than the GBP. So I'm expecting a counter trend trade to be able to take place, or if that's not, we will see a break below and a retest of this area of interest, and then to be able to proceed to a sell, like a trend sell. Yeah, but this one also had at a weekly level, we had a head and shoulders with a retest of the neckline twice and then a push to the downside. So it was a small push, but substantial if you're going down to the 4 hourly. Okay, let me just quickly go here. So 4 hourly was also this is daily. Daily is also bearish with the pullback, but the pullback above this area of interest. So rather than testing for resistance, we're testing for support. So that means a counter trend. And you can see I've marked this here last week and it moved. It would have given us what we wanted, which is 0.5, but we didn't take the trade. All right, let's move on to the next one, guys. I don't want to hold you here too much. USD JPY monthly is bullish with a completed pullback and a rejection, a bullish rejection at the area of interest. So we're currently looking for buys at a monthly level. We are looking for sales at a weekly level. So let me just check again. Okay, so monthly is actually, so monthly is not closed, it's not over, which doesn't really matter, but previous month has closed full engulfing. So that engulfing has got a lot of power. It's a very high time frame and is very well respected. We also know that the American dollar has got a lot more power in front of the Japanese yen at the moment. So it is very, very likely that we're going to see a push to the downside. So even though weekly is bullish, daily, sorry, I meant to say bearish, and daily is also bearish, it is much more likely that we're going to see a push to the downside. So we are now, as you can see, we had this big push to the downside, and we are now rejecting this area of interest. We basically pulled back into it, and now we're rejecting it. What am I saying? So if weekly, if the dollar is more powerful, that means we're going to go up, not down. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So that means we basically retesting the support. So we will be coming back down to retest this level. So that's going to come down and then go up. But what that means is we're going to have a short trend trade to this area of interest and then a push to the upside again, because the USD is a bit more powerful, as we know, with the news that have come out. Okay, looking for sales based on however market can pull back. Yeah, so that's where this one is at. Daily, what is daily doing? Daily is consolidating. And the thing that's happening here that's really outstanding to me is that this engulfing has swallowed all of these little doji-like candles. And then we had a pullback. So it's obviously the market is really, really struggling to push. Like the dollar is not, getting stronger yet in front of the Japanese yen. But I'm struggling to see this actually keep going to the downside based on the market conditions. I do think we're going to retest the support on this area of interest, and then we can put a counter trend trade. GBPAUD, Athena is indicating a sell. All right, so GBP monthly is bullish with a pullback into this area of interest. So it is very possible that we're gonna see monthly have a rejection at this level and push to the upside. GBP Well, next time what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna write down which one is stronger and weaker, because I'm pretty sure that that's what it was. All right, so what's this? Weekly is bullish with the pullback as well, and it is already into this area of interest. So that's what really matters, because once it's down here, we're gonna see we're gonna see the actual move. The thing that does matter for me here is this almost weekly beautiful signal. It signals a reversal, and it's signaling a reversal because this is a ginormous push to the downside. The week before that one had obviously almost formed a doji, which means that that would actually represent the crossover from like the battle point when the sellers have actually gained control, and it pushed it back down, and it's now kind of consolidating at that level, and it finally broke below. So come tomorrow, which is actually today, we're expecting to see this pull back into this area of interest and reject or break above and retest the support to have a sell. Oh, sorry, a buy. I'm tired, guys. So sorry. But that's where this one is at. Next on my list is AUD CAD. Now, AUD CAD is in a bullish monthly. Retest has been completed, and continuation is taking place at the moment. Weekly is going to confirm exactly the opposite. We are bearish at the weekly level. However, having monthly being the higher time frame, it is more likely that we're going to see a push to the upside. And we have currently just reached this area of interest, and we closed engulfing at the, so if you're actually looking just a couple of weeks before, we closed with a doji and then a big push to the downside. So that means the sellers were in control, but this doji, you can see how it had a big push to the upside, and then it closed as a doji, and then we had a push to the downside. So that means the sellers have won. However, that also meant there was a lot of buyers in the market, and you can see how this has actually had a push to the upside. And I'm expecting for us tomorrow to have this go up and then come back down to retest this area of interest in order for us to put a buy signal through. Yes, it's going to be a counter trend trade, but it's the only thing that's on my books right now, specifically because this is such a clean engulfing signal. This candle alone has swallowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 candles, which is indicating to me that we're gonna basically have another push to the upside. Now, will it break the weekly and the daily high? I don't think so. But in saying that, daily is actually gonna become bullish from tomorrow. So, but what normally happens when that is the case, we will see that we're going to break above and come back down to retest. So even if this is going to reach here tomorrow morning, is probably going to have a pullback to this area of interest in order to have a deeper push to the upside. Now, hopefully in the process, weekly is also becoming bullish, but I don't think so. That would be very, very high. But yeah, if that is the case and that is happening, then we will see some beautiful moves. The fact is both daily and weekly are engulfing. So I cannot not see a buy. All right, next one is GBP CAD. So GBP CAD is sitting currently at a beautiful place. On a monthly level, we are bullish with a retest. So for me, this is a beautiful setup because we are retesting this area of interest, and we know that the British pound has got a little bit more power at the moment with the current market and the current news, and we have reached this critical level. And are we at psychological number or run about? Maybe not quite yet. Sorry. Maybe not quite yet at the psychological number, but regardless of that, we are rejecting this area of interest with a monthly candle. It hasn't closed, so it can go deeper or can go higher. But if we're dropping down to the weekly level, we can also see this beautiful engulfing signal right there, and a double retest of this support level. So it is possible that we're gonna have an entry signal. Oh, let me just quickly check again. So what did I say? Monthly is bullish with continuation. Weekly is bullish as well. Daily is bullish as well. So this is a pretty good setup, I would say, from that point of view. We can see the consolidation at a daily level. There's no clean entry signal yet, but we drop into the 4-hourly to have a look at what's going on here, and we can see that we have been pretty deep into the area of interest. However, there was no, please forgive me, there was no actual engulfing signal for this entry, so I do not know exactly what's going on with it. We're gonna wait for this to break above at a 4-hourly level as well and retest and possibly give us a much cleaner entry. I'm just thinking whether there's anything here. So we touched, break and come back down. There was somewhat an entry signal here. I just don't like how it's not deep enough. This would have been the entry signal if this was engulfing. That would have been beautiful. But anyway, it isn't. So we'll just move on. Going back to Euro JPY. So Euro JPY at a monthly level, we are just about to break the the market structure from bearish to bullish, but of course monthly still has 7 days to go. Weekly is bearish with a pullback. Daily is bearish, also bearish with a pullback. And 4-hourly is bullish. So 4-hourly is bullish. So what that means is, to me, this has been bullish since roughly at about this level here. So that's kind of indicating to me that the market is possibly changing its character. If I'm looking at weekly, we have hit this pretty beautiful area of interest, and it is something that the market has also done for quite a while. It's been ranging. So we're hitting an area that could potentially have a rejection, but I would be very honest to you, based on the market analysis that I did just before, the euro is got a lot more power at the moment than the JPY and the Japanese yen. So it is possible that we're going to break above this current area of interest and have a push to the upside and break the trend and just go back bullish. So I'm expecting this to have a deeper retrace and then a push to the upside. So we are in fact looking or seeking buys, not sales. So looking for sales. However, euro stronger than the JPY at the moment, possible dip pullback on the trend. Exactly. So we are not longer seeking this. We are just seeking buys basically. So we wanting this broke above and come back down to retest. We are looking for an entry signal at this level here, and that would be roughly at about 4-hourly high. This is so embarrassing, guys, but it's bloody late. It's 12:32. I was reading 12:12, but it's 12:32. It's a small screen. Okay, that's Euro JPY, Euro NZD. At a monthly level, we are, what are we? We are bullish with a very, very deep retrace. So Euro NZD, we know that Euro is much stronger, so I would definitely consider a trend trade. However, based on where we are now, with the signal that we have at a weekly level, so weekly has closed with a full engulfing. That's a very, very good indicator, and is at, oh my god, this is gonna be you soon. You know, when you're gonna decide to do trading, you're gonna have so much to do and you're gonna have no time for it, but you're gonna want to succeed, and you're gonna be sitting here at 12:30, you know, after hours, this Sunday night here, and trying to make sense of it all. So obviously when you're tired like this, you can't see shit, but the good news is that I've spent the time before when I wasn't so tired to actually get the market structures looked at. But this one here, it doesn't make a bit of sense, because I'm saying that I'm looking for sales based on that, but the market structure right now is screaming, you know, weeklies Weekly is bearish with a retest of this area of interest, rejection of the EMA. So of course I would be looking for sales. Daily is saying the exactly same thing, bearish rejection of that area of interest. The only one thing I haven't quite got is a proper signal apart from this wick right there. But this is daily, so this would have been the signal after that close, but that meant I would have got wicked out. So let's see what the heck is happening at the 4-hourly. So at the 4-hourly level, we obviously broke above, didn't hold, broke above, didn't hold, broke below. Kind of, I don't know, it just kind of retested that EMA and then it had a push to the downside. This would have been the only entry signal, but to me, it's really stupid what it is. It's just, I would have rather have a signal more like, look like this, come back down and retest to look like that for a push to the downside. But the reality is I would rather have a bearish market. So at the time of this signal here, we were bullish. So I would have never traded when we were bullish. I would have waited for that to conclude and change bearish. So that would have been about here, bearish, and then broken that and come back down to retest it. But it didn't, it just went down. So I am expecting a pullback and possibly get the entry signal. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have got lined up for this week. It is possible that we're gonna take a trade this week. So fingers crossed. There's a couple of pairs. Hopefully, I can grow some bigger balls and just trade. Yeah, I do think there's some opportunities. So fingers crossed. Wish me luck. And if you guys been watching my channel and you find it interesting, if there's anything you can teach me, and if you think this could be useful for anybody else, don't forget to subscribe and share with your share with your friends. I mean, I'm not guru. I'm just showing you what is gonna take me to become a better trader. And remember my journal. I'm doing this as my journal, and I'm sharing it with you. It is private. It's like, is it private? It's not private anymore because I'm sharing with you, but it's a private thing that I'm doing for myself right now, right? I'm trying to learn how to trade and how to be a profitable trader. And I started this to answer the question if the trading can obviously change my life. Now, trading cannot change my life unless I change my life in order to be a successful trader. That second question has emerged about a month and a half in doing this and recording everything. There's not many views now. Um, I'm not expecting to. I'm not expecting to have many views. There's nothing to show for at the moment. I'm still learning. But once I start trading and making some money and actually understanding the trading, I'm guessing that is gonna get a lot more traction. So depending on when you watch this video, if it's 5 years from now or if it's 3 days from now, it may be just a different situation. The whole logic was that when I started trading, there was no physical evidence for any of the gurus out there that, what it took them to become successful. They just say, oh, it's been 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 3 years, 2 years. But there isn't anything that I do here. I could not find someone that physically just record themselves every day, every lesson for the purpose of them learning and showing to the people what it takes. Now, I might be regretting this later because, it's all free information. I might have breakthroughs. I might have things that I have no idea about now. But, 3 months down the track, I'm going to be, wow, that was actually the thing that changed my life. And, I don't know it now, but I'm going to know it then. So, it could be a very good thing for yourself and it could be a very good thing for me. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you like what I'm trying to do here for you guys and for everybody new that's trying to learn how to trade. I'm gonna cut it here. Thank you very much for everything. You guys have a lovely evening and I will see you this week, hopefully with updates for the trades. Take care.